Stephen, to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me, stand, please be seated.
Heavenly Father, be with these elected officials this evening as they make their decisions based on your will and what you would have them do. Guide them and be with them over the days and weeks ahead. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Okay. Okay, the first thing on our agenda is public input. If there's anyone in here that would like to have a moment or so to talk about something, please give your name and address and stand. Yes, sir.
John McBurney, 3 Terrace Avenue at this time. What I was asking the village to consider is, since we put the new house in on Terrace there in Stockton, we would like to make the address 3 Terrace Avenue and 3 Terrace Avenue, 5 Terrace Avenue. And I've already called 911 and everybody has the blessings, and they have said that it'll be up to the village to make a decision on what has to be done. So my request is I would like to have 3 for there, and then 5 for my daughter, and so it stays right there. It doesn't hurt anything right there because it's 3, 5, and there's nobody all the way around to get to the other side, 23, 27. So I would like to do that, and I say the simulation here is that it's like getting out of a divorce. You know, the house there kind of like has some bad vibes for us, so we really don't want to be in that address, so that's why I'm trying to hope that we can go that way. So that is one thing I would like to ask the village to do.
Are those addresses already taken? Or
Just the 3 Terrace where I live, so that would be slid down to the corner, which was 62, and then my daughter would take over 5, so it would be 3-5. And then the real tax people up in Delhi said they can switch that, that's not a problem, and 911 said it's no problem. The postmaster, he said whatever the 3 of those guys got, I'm all in for it. So there was no problem at that level. So it's just kind of like, you know, you got a new house, it's kind of like a fresh start for us, and that's why we wanted to do that and stay away from the house there that will be torn down in about a year, because it's got all our stuff in it right now.
Well, and we've never done something like that in the code or anything. I don't know if there's...
yeah, I have no idea what the red tape is on that.
Well, if I may interject here, according to the real tax people up there, it's just some paperwork, and then the village then takes over. They actually change the tax map. They do it, and then they send it to you guys, and then to the 911 and to us, and then we just change it at the post office. So that's really, there's really not a lot of red tape that you would think. I thought there was too, until I started researching it and finding out it's actually not that bad. So that's my request there. And the reason for doing this, I didn't realize that Star is coming up at the end of the month. So that's why, and we have to change all our stuff anyway, because we got into this house. So that's why I'm looking to do this all in one shot here, so that we don't have to double do it or whatever.
Well, what's Rick, you have anything to say?
Yeah, well, one of the problems we have is, and we've already gone through this once, up on Clark Street, which was the postal address, but it's actually on Bruce Street. And the rest of the property actually belongs to people who live out there, and the people fronting Bruce Street objected to changing the name. So changing your address and making it, now, it is on Stockton Avenue. Now, I understand you put the building on with the back of the building facing Stockton Avenue, but the lot is still on Stockton Avenue.
Well, according to 911, and it's called Dina, they're trying to get all properties geared to where the driveways come in onto the property. That's what they're trying to do, because, and I can say this, UPS and FedEx and all them, they come up trying to drop stuff off to us. They're looking for the driveway on Stockton, and there is none. Except Pomeroy put one in a little, just before he left, but the real driveway is off of Terrace Avenue. It's been there for 88 years.
And it was never a problem before when you owned that property?
In
Stick these two front avenue buildings, you owned that property.
yes,
Correct.
we've owned that property. Then we knew we wanted to move into it at one time, but then after going through the house being built in 1890, we had to weigh and say it's really not really worth doing all that, and it's 2 stories. We're getting older, so we wanted to be on one level. But the NINA, and it stands for National something. I don't remember what she told me, but they're trying to gear all driveways so that when people come around looking for that address, they have a driveway and they want mailboxes and signs out by the mailboxes. A lot of people don't realize that postal people want the post office boxes down by the driveways now, but a lot of people haven't done that yet. So I mean, it's I don't think there's a lot of red tape. In fact, according to what I've heard here, if there's an okay here today, 911 and the tax people will send papers down tomorrow.
Well, when we ran into the other property with Clark, we had a real problem with 911. That was our main issue, right? Remember they were.
But weren't you trying to change the name of the street?
That was Clark Street. Yeah.
You see, I'm not changing the street. I'm not changing any of that.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not sure that's really the same thing.
Okay.
But now it's a separate lot, correct? It's not, the lot already has an address,
Yes.
and that is Stockton Avenue.
That is Stockton
And
Avenue.
now you're saying you don't want that lot to be on Stockton Avenue?
Well, can't change the lot. I mean, the lot is physical.
Well, that's what I say, physically it is on Stockton.
But I mean, there's been a couple incidences where we've added addresses between houses in town.
No, I'm not saying, you could have an address to Terrace Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
because you said they put it where the driveway is, which is on Terrace Avenue.
Correct.
Right.
That will not change the lot your building is on, which is actually on Stockton Avenue, correct? Is that what I understand?
I guess the address was assigned to that thing, 62 Stockton. So that that was probably way back before any of us were born.
Is the driveway on Stockton Avenue?
No, it's on Terrace.
It's on Terrace.
Yes. It's terrace right straight into the old garage. It's been there ever since the house was built.
It does not make sense to put that address as 3.
Yeah, I mean, I
If
don't,
it did anything, it would be 1 and leave 3 as it is.
You can't do one. One is reserved for special things by 911.
I can do what we want to, because it's up to me in
Oh.
the village.
If
I'm just saying,
But it doesn't make sense to do 3 and 5, because the lot that's assigned as
on the corner.
being 3 currently is gonna get,
Would you object to it being 1?
I would not. In fact, when I called up there, I said, "Can I just make it 1 and make it 1 and leave 3 the way it is?" And then she said, "Well, no, they don't." But then she called me back and said that according to that, there was some thing about they reserved 1s for special things or something, intersections like that. But she did say it is up to the village. It is up to the village.
1.
I guess my question is, all you're concerned about is your mailing address, correct?
Yeah, and a little bit of a sentiment also.
But the property itself is actually Stockton Avenue.
I get it is right now, yes.
And the driveway is on.
So, I mean, I don't, what you want to have for your address is between you and the post office.
No, because because we have to change our license and everything.
The village has to agree.
We have to go through the license change, and that's why I'm doing it. I want to do it now if I can, because we have to change all the licenses, because we're changing our address. We're moving basically is what it is. So you gotta change all your licenses, everything that's associated with 3 Terrace for me has to be changed. So I'm just saying that Terrace has been I lived on that street for 43 years, and it's just sentimental, and
So, so what happens to 3 Terrace?
well, according to Jody, according to what she's saying, is it will stay 3 Terrace and not change all, and we would just add
Add one more,
one
one
terrace.
instead of leave 3 the way it is.
Correct.
Oh,
You could do
three
that.
terraces a house?
Yeah.
The property.
The property.
Yeah, it's a property.
That's where I live.
Property. So it's the property that's being, it's the property that's being addressed more than the house. The house is on the property, right, the property is being, the property has the address. I don't know how it really
Nobody
goes.
could explain that to me on how that is, but what you're saying is correct. If that property is assigned 62 Stockton, that one's.
It only makes sense because if you had the property without a house on it, it would still be an address.
Yes, it is, because I looked them up in town.
Right, so if, technically, all those lots are the property, the house is on number 3 or number 4 or
Correct,
whatever it
it's
may
the
be.
property, it's the land that has the address.
Right, okay, that's what it was. So does anybody,
So 1 and 3, 5 is problematic for some reason?
no, one, they have.
Well, no, that was just a suggestion by 911 to make the switch.
Okay.
Because they said that, one might not be there, but she did say it was up to the village.
So you wanna make the designation of 1 and 3?
Well, 3 is already there.
3 would not be changed.
It would be 1,
It would just be
if that's what
62,
somebody wants to do.
62 to 1 terrace, that's what it would be.
I would absolutely make a motion to change 62 Stockton Avenue to 1 Terrace. If for no other reason than because.
Is there a second on that?
Second, due diligence,
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't know what to say.
Well, just do what you gotta, say what you gotta say.
Well, if 911 gives us the same problem they gave with.
Well, if they do, then we'll come back and say that we can't, but he said they're not going to. If 911 gives us a hard time, or somebody else does, then we're gonna have an issue.
I
Long as you-
can't argue that.
We'll take, okay, good.
I can't,
If anybody said anything about that, we won't do it.
Pending with 911
Yeah.
and the county.
Yeah. So, okay.
if they say something like that, but, the village would have to then, okay, I'm gonna have them call the village and say that you said that, that one was okay, because that was,
Yes, depending on what they say. Okay,
so I will call them tomorrow and they'll get in contact with the village.
okay.
And then if they say yes or no, yes, we continue, no,
No, then we have-
drop off.
Okay, fair enough?
Okay, yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks, sir.
See you guys later.
Anyone else, would like to speak or say anything?
What did you say?
How did that go? They had 3. If it was 2 and 2, I would have. Okay, all right, then we'll go to the next thing. Thank you, Jody. Makes sense what you said. All right, the abstracts. Everyone's had a chance to take a look at them. We need no corrections or anything. I'd like to have a motion on that. Motion to approve. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Both? Okay, thank you. Public Works, Butch.
Everyone?
Good evening.
Board okay?
Yeah, how about that? Printed everything.
Any questions at all, or? Pretty quiet, couple of things in, a lot of rain, we got no vegetation. It's not paving weather. No, it definitely has not been paving weather or concrete weather.
We say maybe the end of the month or September?
Possibly the end of the month for street house.
No, things have been going good. And you guys have doing a good job. Thank you very much for the award.
I have 2 things to ask. We only have 1 on here, but 1 popped up after I did the report.
Okay.
The first thing is, I'll request approval for Lane to do the rehab at also like the well number 3.
It's in the budget, right?
It's in the budget, yeah. I just gotta give them a go ahead to have them come in. And hopefully we don't have any other issues with it.
Need a motion for that?
Just need to get
Make a
rehab.
motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And the second thing is, after I did this, the emails come out for the NICOM conference in October. So I would like to go with that. Now, it's right around $1,200 for the full cost of everything. So August, let me say, October 16th, I think it is.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's all I had.
Thank you. Where is it?
Oh, Big Pleasant, yeah. I went
Nice.
over there
That's a long-
4 years ago. It's
Oh,
on the right.
That's a long time.
It's a long ride, yes.
Is that the one just for your
For DPW.
DPW, right?
Yep.
Well, that's
They should
that's
have
probably
said
like a 4 or 5 hour ride, right? Is it?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember going there once.
It's a long ride.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's tough to take this.
Go, Josh. Steve. Okay. Good evening.
Everybody got the report?
Yep.
I was having problems with the computer program, generating the report, those are not the right numbers. So, I was able to force them in this morning, but obviously I did my report last week, so, but,
It's a whole lot of reporting.
yeah. Well, no, like, there was more building permits issued and such, and, there was more complaints too. But, you know, every year I have issues with the program. I usually have to call the company and get it situated, but this time I just forced them to stuff.
It's fun to plug it and plug it back in again.
See,
So
that
what's
didn't
the
even work. So,
That's
anyone
the
have,
easy way.
yeah. Anyone have any questions with anything?
No.
I don't know. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate all the hard
Thank
work.
you all, good work. Thank you. Bill Brown, Bell Engineering.
Sorry I didn't get a report out, typed up, nothing formal to ask for, this month, this meeting. Just a couple of quick project updates. I on the sewer collection system, we've been talking about that on and off for some time. We did, in coordination with DPW, did some kind of follow-up inspections on Lower Liberty Street. And found some areas where you have some water coming in a fairly small area, getting quotes from contractors to do rehab of that area. In the budget that we've been talking about, in the range of 40,000 or so to be able to do repairs on I out of the sewer fund to kind of keep costs down. So we've got some water coming into a section of Lower Liberty Street and some manholes that look to be leaking. So we're getting some quotes to do some repairs and restoration of that segment.
There was a big leak coming out of there, right? I mean, you were estimating, I would just figure out it was probably about 400,000 gallons a month we're losing over there, which is, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
Because we're running into a problem at our plant, and we're at 1.5 million, and we're at 1.4 right now.
roughly, yeah.
So if we get this fixed, the 400,000, it'll put us really back in good position to help a lot.
And did this I&I, scope of I&I repair, did that get forwarded to the senator's office? Or?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
I sent it to both the congressman and the senator,
Yeah, Molinaro.
Molinaro and O'Rourke. They said they would put it in, see what they can do. And I also gave it to the CWC, and I brought it up to Coalition of Watershed Towns, and we have our meeting this month. I'm going to bring it up again. So every place that I can bring it, I think it's better. It is.
The other couple of projects that are underway, the water upgrade project, the board awarded the contract for that work last month. It was awarded to Rutledge Excavating, so we're treating the contract back and forth with them. We got their bonds and insurance in last Friday, so we're issuing the notice to proceed in the agreements. That work is going to be replacement of the water line on Prospect on Route 10 going towards Deposit. There's about 2,000 feet. Yeah.
Old is the one inside
Yeah,
there.
the other way. Okay. So we're replacing the water main on Prospect, which right now is a 4-inch cast iron main. The inside of it's smaller with the build up, and there's been a number of water main breaks there.
I think that's one of our oldest ones, right, Bush?
Yeah, it's one.
Well, I mean, we have a few, but we changed a lot of them already. I mean, we really have. Okay.
And then there'll be work at the 2 tanks and then one of the well houses as well. So we'll report back next month with kind of a more defined schedule. We'll have a meeting with the contractor this month sometime, coordinate with UPW and the board.
That
was from scaling back the project to correct in the budget. Yeah. So we have a $2 million net project. It's being funded by New York State DFC. 1.2 million of that is grant.
Don't worry, I'll take care of that, Wednesday. I'm gonna win the lottery thing, $2 billion, yeah, so, don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Okay. Donation back.
If I win, everybody's gonna call me up, you can help the village.
Better buy a curb maker.
Yeah, I will, I remember that one. Yeah, okay, thank you.
The other is the new well to go in behind in the Curry well field. We have parts on order for that, so we're hoping to be able to break ground on the production well, hopefully this one.
Good.
It's a screen, one of the parts. Yeah, there's this. So we did. We've actually done 2 test wells there, and the screen we're having it specially made for the gravel that we encountered. When we did the test wells, we found a lot of really fine sand in that aquifer. So we're having a screen made that has very fine slots in it to restrict how much, restrict the sand coming into the water supply. So it's a specialty made thing for municipal and industrial wells. Johnson Well Screen Company, right there out of Minnesota, Montana. So that's in the works.
Okay, good. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Hey, thank you.
Shane, wastewater treatment?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to get my report.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions? I have 3 requests, 2 of which are in the report, and 1 like this afternoon. First one is request Kestner Associates to authorize the replacement of the power unit of the RAS pump at a cost of $6,850. And this is a 80% village and 20% DEP cost, and that was budgeted.
Make the motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
The next is for spare parts for our grip screw from WTP Corporation, and that's $2,713, and that's also budgeted 80% of those DEP costs.
That's in the budget also, correct?
Yes.
Need a motion?
Motion. Second?
All in favor? All opposed? Okay.
And the third one, which isn't in my report, is for replacement of the non-potable water pumps in the Seabud building. We have part of the money budgeted, and the rest of it is pending DEP approval. But the cost of that project is $65,350, and that's for 2 pumps, a control panel, valves, and piping.
It's a phone rehab, basically. The RW.
First, already budgeted.
Yeah,
Part of it, 30,000 out of the 65,350.
That's
and the rest of the way to the DEP.
It's 100% DEP.
100% DEP cost. Okay, need a motion?
That's nice.
Make motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Well, thank you. Move about that.
That was a big number. I got scared.
Yes,
And that's all I have.
thank you. Brian, come on, why don't we talk to yours now?
Okay.
Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, no problem. Good evening.
Good evening. Just tell the board what they probably know, but just so everybody can get what's going on.
So just a brief history, right? Everybody knows, like Talsball Craft, December 2021. We started the process for a new agreement, a user agreement. We got to a negotiation point. We're going to meet with them on the 22nd, but we're operating under a standstill agreement right now, which, they're paying, I think everybody's good there. They're happy that way. The issue is, we're still having issues with, the turbidity going out, could be really delayed and other stuff coming in. And every time we have these issues, we have to go to DEC, right? We feel that NOV, notice of violation, and we're getting more and more pressure to actually have an industrial user permit. And it's an EPA document. So that's what I sent, a draft version of that. And so I have a copy here from you, so you guys have them too. It's not, I don't want people to think it's a punchline like that. It's just a very well laid out document. EPA uses it. A lot of industries and municipalities have these documents they use. It's just something they're really pushing, and just due to the fact that we keep having these violations of the plant, we're getting to a point where DC is just going to say, you can't keep blaming everybody. You got to do this. So we're doing it. So like I said, this accompanies the other form, the other agreement. That, like I said, we're going to meet with them again on the 22nd. I'll discuss. but this is kind of the hard document, and there's, we can go through it just quick, page by page if you want, but it's just the description of the facility, stuff like that, the allowable limits, so if you go to limits, they're pretty close to the ones you see in the user agreement, so there's nothing that's changed. There's a couple more sampling requirements they want. EPA really wants turbidity sampled now. We got a slug control plan. They got to come up with one. There's a whole list of they're called total toxic organic compounds. I don't think we have to enforce that with them. I hope they're not putting that stuff in their products, so they can actually get a waiver for that. So that big list of chemicals you see, we're not going to worry about that. They need a waiver for that. One thing in your sewer use code, though, I believe it's section 192-28, because I wrote it down here. Your pH is a minimum 6 and maximum 9. The EPA did say you can be a little more lax with that, 5 to 10. So we have 5 to 10 in this agreement. We should probably update your code so it matches, right? And that's across the board. So, but anyways, this is a draft document. We're gonna, once you guys say okay, review it some more, let me know. Okay, if you're okay tonight, we'll get it to them. It's gonna go to them as a draft. I'm sure they're gonna come back with questions and stuff like that. We can give them. The typical is 30 days, but just assume, just say 30 days to have comments, stuff like that. It'll probably drag it a little bit longer, but once we get to a point where everybody's in agreement, if they got this document. Then the user agreement, the other document that we've been going back and forth with, that's the rates, the fees and stuff like that. They'll accompany that, but I'll have to update that to match this a little bit, just with the amount of samples and stuff like that. But this will be the new document.
This also is in our code, village code.
Yeah.
And we had mentioned that to them at the beginning of talks, and they weren't interested, but the EPA came in and said, we will have this permit. So we don't have any choice. We're being directed by the EPA to have this done.
And our current code says 6 to 9 pH.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need to change that.
just change it a little bit.
What is this document called?
This is the industrial user permit. Yeah.
So, Dave Rosiger looked at it, he's okay with it. John Moffett and Brian, of course, we put this all together. So we just need a motion so we can get this and put it together and send it to our Dallas.
There's going to be back and forth.
There's some changes, I know, with EPA, a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a couple of notes in here. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is just to keep us in compliance with our permit.
Right.
Which we have to have permit from the government.
Right.
So if we have an industrial user, they cover all industrial uses.
Well, we'll probably do it for Empire Metalworks because they're industrial users. It's different. They have different waste coming out than that. And when you have that new that Tiberial data, when they come, we'll have to give them one too. So what we do for one, we got to do for all. And that would be it. Yeah, that's our code. So I need a motion so we can pass this and get this going. All Steve, all right, I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're good. Okay. Thank you, Brian, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I really appreciate it, yeah, thank you.
So do anybody want to do a motion to set a public hearing to change the village code to the?
Yes, why don't we do it,
Do that?
we do it the next meeting? Next meeting, let's do a public hearing so we can change the pH so it matches.
Motion to set a public hearing at the next meeting.
Second, all in favor? Both? Yeah. Okay, good, thank you. We don't want the EPA to come after us, that's for sure. Okay, the trustee report. We'll start with Nate.
Just a second here. I'll start with a little letter that Brian Sprague wrote that I'd like to read. Says we should give a lot of thanks to our volunteers and the work that they have contributed to the village of Walton. The football field at Austin Lincoln Park will have lights for night games this fall, thanks to the generosity of the Delhi Telephone Company, who donated 2 light poles, NYSEG for the installation of the poles, and the Taggart family for donating their time for the electrical work. I'd like to again thank the Clark family for donating time and materials to build the beautiful new 24-foot by 16-foot pavilion at the pool. It was a family endeavor with Allison and Mark and the kids doing all of the work. Swimming lessons were taught this summer thanks to Linda Belmont, Kindred Church, Lori Fisher, Amanda Gabriel, Rachel McLaughlin, and Grace Reinhardt. They were taught over a 2-week period for 2 hours each day. We had 74 children sign up and 58 young swimmers finish their sessions. Summer basketball has had an average of 10 to 15 players participating daily, and arts and crafts has enjoyed 30 to 40 students each day. Special thanks to London Gardner for working with our young basketball players, and to Jackie Armstrong for her exceptional work with our arts and crafts program. We really hope to have them back next summer. The pool will be open through Labor Day. Monday, September 4th is the last day the pool will be open. The pool will close at 6 p.m. during Fair Week. One day that week, and that day is yet to be determined, it will close at 5 p.m. We have a new lifeguard to hire. We have an application from Anthony Soto. I have his application here if anyone would like to look at it. He is a certified lifeguard, and we have a couple of lifeguards who are leaving this month for college-related issues and fall sports. So it'll be really good to have Anthony Soto come in to fill the gaps that they're leaving. And I would like to make a motion to hire Anthony Soto for the remainder of the summer as a lifeguard at $14.20 an hour.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Moving on to the Walton Theater, we have Disney's Haunted Mansion currently playing through Wednesday, so if you haven't gotten there, go see it. It's a fun one. The theater will not have a movie for Fair Week. Go enjoy the fair. Music on the Delaware is excited to announce their new seasons for the main stage concerts, as well as the free coffee house events in the Andrea Paternoster room, and those will begin in September. And you can find them on the theater website at waltontheater.org. The Delaware River Stage Company will begin rehearsals for this year's Christmas show in the beginning of September. I'm not sure if it's the first week or the second week. It'll be one or the other, and we will get that info out. Dates are to be determined. Anyone interested should contact myself, or Molly Hammond, or Paula O'Brien, or find the Delaware River Stage Company Facebook page for more information. It will be lots of fun, and it's going to be a great show. Next year, WSI, Water Safety Instructor class, is going to be tentatively set for mid-June of 2024 here in Walton. And ideally, we will have all 7 of our guards this year. They will be WSI trained guards next year, ideally. We would like to next year be back to having swimming lessons in the morning and the evening. And we would like to budget to have paid WSI guards to teach these swimming lessons. Hopefully we won't have to rely on volunteers like we did this summer. Most of our guards will be 16 years old next year, which was an issue we had this year. We had a lot of guards who were 15 years old, and at 15 they're not old enough to teach swimming lessons. But next year they will be. We do have volunteers that are willing to help next year, but we really hope to not have to rely on them. Let's see. A couple of things we hope to do next year. We would like to hopefully concrete the floor at the new pavilion that the Clark family donated. We hope to name the pavilion by next year. We will officially, hopefully, name it the Clark Pavilion because, you know, they did so much great work. And we would like to run electricity to the pavilion, which is pretty easy to do. And then the one last thing I have is, well, two things. Still talking with New York State DOT about the piece of property on the northeast corner of Ogden Street and Old Prospect Avenue, which is hopefully the location for the Girl Scout funded dog park. New York State says that they own it. We're not sure that that's true. They sent me this document, which is so small you can't even read it. And we're going to figure it out one way or another about who owns that and how to get that going. The other thing is our New York Forward grant. We need to put forth a letter of intent to apply for the grant by August 18th. And this is our grant from last year. The Delaware County Chamber of Commerce helped us put this together last year. And this year, the Walton Chamber of Commerce is going to help us on this year's grant. And I would like to make a motion for the village to put forth a letter of intent to reapply for the New York Forward grant, which is a grant of $2.5 to $4.5 million for small towns in upstate New York for downtown revitalization. So I would like to make a motion to send a letter of intent to apply to reapply for the grant.
Information like how much grant we're applying for and what it's for.
We don't have to have that information actually. They will help. They will figure out how much they think we need. We don't have to have a specific amount in mind. It's also not a matching grant, so we don't have to match anything.
Well, normally when the board makes a motion, that's part of the motion. So that's up to you guys.
So it could be up to 2.5 million.
It's up to 4.5.
Up to 4.5. Yeah, we did it last year.
Yep. This is.
Yep. You're basically submitting the same.
We're not going to submit the same proposal, but we're going to build on this. We're going to make it better. We're going to refine it. But it's going to be in the general direction of.
I know there's no money going forward. Us putting in. It's just.
Well, the only thing is that it's the way I read those. It's a matter of when you get ready to put out the money. It's many grants to the state.
Yeah.
If you put a little skin in the game, you got a chance of getting it. If you don't put any money up, they sort of ignore it.
And that's what we're doing is we're putting in the work in concert with the Walton Chamber of Commerce. We've been talking about a new streetscape for downtown, and we last year we set out a poll to the villagers about what they would like to see done with any of this grant money. And this year, in the coming month, I will set out another poll to the villagers, asking two questions: what would you like to see done with the money that we might get from this grant, and what direction would you like to see Walton headed in the future? And also, I will be talking to local businesses as to what they might like to do with some of this grant money if they were given grant money to make their business more appealing.
So it's the motion for the mayor to write a letter of intent.
It's to send a letter of intent. Yes, that's it. The application is due by September 29th. The letter of intent to apply is due by August 18th.
Is there a format of a copy of a letter to be sent?
It's on their website. Yeah, it's not even so much a letter. It's more of an application that we fill out.
And then at the next meeting, that application will be reviewed by us, other stakeholders, I mean, the town.
Yeah, everyone can see it. It's public. This is last year's, and we're going to use this one to build this year's. But I mean, there's no downside to applying. We probably won't get it this year, but each year it gets. They just started New York Forward last year. The downtown revitalization initiative was started 6 years ago, and Oswego, New York, just finished their projects. They were the first town in New York State to be awarded it. And they finished 12 projects, and they're seeing huge benefits from it. And those are the bigger towns. That's the DRI. But then they created New York Forward for smaller towns like us. And last year was the very first year of that. So this year is year number 2. We applied last year, And chances are we won't get it this year. There's $100 million for the entire state. And the state is divvied up into 10 regions, and each region gets a few towns that will be awarded. But each year we'll have a better application, and if it's not this year, it'll be next year or the year after. And we'll get $2.5 to $4.5 million to make downtown really nice.
So that's the motion.
So I make a motion to send a letter of intent to apply for this grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And that's all I have for today.
That's enough.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, I just wanted to touch on one of the items you mentioned, and that's the map that you submitted. I mean, I look at maps all day. This is a highway taking map from the 1930s. I grew up on the street.
He's talking about the dog park.
The dog park, yeah, I don't know where any of this sits. So definitely need more time to analyze, especially the state's claim of ownership. I mean, the highway isn't even illustrated here. But in any case, glad that they were able to produce something. But on our tax assessment rolls through Delaware County, it shows village ownership. So it's not as clear as just the state saying this is what we own, especially with the map that they have here. Moving on, the next thing that I wanted to mention, I was approached by Amanda Conklin, a village resident who wanted to do a chalk art day to welcome the community to do chalk art on Fair Street. That would be held on August 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it requires closure of the road. We passed it off to the fair board to make sure there was no issue because it's right before the fair. So they said there would be no issue there. They'd direct traffic to the other entrances. And also Cecilia Northwood, which is the person across the street, making sure it was clear, no issue with any adjoining neighbors. So all the stakeholders are in approval for it. And so just need to make a motion to do the temporary.
That's
closure.
this Friday, right?
Correct.
Yeah. You're making the motion?
Yeah, motion to.
Need a second to that?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
That's fine.
That's all I have.
Okay. Take anything?
No, everybody, I assume everybody got the police report?
Yes.
Yep.
You got the police report?
I did, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, they're very busy. We did have one of our training officers is actually working for us now. They're hoping that by the end of August.
By the end of August, he'll be
By the end
done.
of August, we'll be a regular patrol and we can put him on the car. Our patrol car is supposed to be here, finished, ready to go by this week, correct? Rich?
Supposed to be.
So for the fair, we'll actually have 3 cars available. We do have coverage coming in. We've brought in some part-timers, so we will have normal coverage during the fair week.
I noticed on the police report that car 580 didn't get driven at all last month.
Did he just didn't put mileage down?
I mean, we really don't use the 3rd car right now. During the fair, we probably use the 3rd car.
Yeah.
As soon as the fair is over, as soon as it's necessary, code enforcement will take the Ford sedan and we'll use it. And that's the only other thing I want to bring up. Since this is supposed to be done by the end of this week, as soon as we get it done and we have that car as a spare, it will be declared the impound surplus and let Bush
Put it on the, okay, when you can get through it, yeah.
put it for sale. I'll make a motion, we do that.
Second.
Yeah, make a motion. You making a motion?
Yeah, yeah.
He did.
Yeah, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Was that to declare the car surplus and to
The,
be
the,
sold after
the old
fair?
car that we have now, that's for the code enforcement car.
officer car. Yeah, his car.
Once we get the new one.
His feet have been getting tired, he's been using his feet, you know, like Fred Flintstone, you know.
It creaks a little when it goes around the corner.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
When you, Lauren,
To the authorize Bush to put it up. for-
no, chief's report, he also wanted training for gun follow.
I don't know, I didn't get it from him.
I didn't see that in the.
Yeah.
Is it cost to us?
And training, yeah, $200.
It's in his budget?
I must have come after I got.
$200.
So do you want
Let him, let,
Yeah, he wants, okay, the chief requested, that he get permission to send Colin, who's one of our trainees, to, patrol rifle on September 22nd, 23rd. Which costs us $200. The training, should need the money in the budget for training. I make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Where is that training at?
At,
Probably Delphi.
Delhi.
It's a dollar.
Delhi.
What is Colin's last name?
Garfalo?
Bob, yeah. Garapolo,
Have it.
Very nice young man, on the other day.
he is.
Can I have that paper back, please? Not that one.
Which one you want? That one you want.
Okay, you done?
I'm
Yeah.
done.
Steve, do you have anything?
Nothing.
Okay, mayor's report. The only thing I really want to bring up today is that we got a request from Wayne Bank. We have some of our funds that are in, it's called night class. And we're getting 4.8, close to 5% interest daily on this.
Wow.
We did about $100,000 and we made extra last year because of it. We're doing about a little over 10,000 a month, a little less, someplace around there. Wayne Bank wants us to, they want to get involved in this because this is something most of the banks haven't been doing. Wayne Bank submitted something that said they would match it, the 4.8%. However, they would look at it once a month. It wouldn't be a daily thing that we're getting now. So right, you saw it, right, Jody? The thing? Yeah. So basically, they're matching it, yes, but they're not matching it daily. It would be once a month they will look at it and see what they're gonna do. So I don't know what everybody wants to do. You want to leave the money where we have? You want to put some of it out and put it there? I just don't know.
I'm confused, I'm sorry.
We have X amount of dollars in the bank for our checking and things like that, maybe 100,000 or whatever. But we got in the night class much more. And night class, what is night class? What is it really? It's not a bank. It's a, what would you call it, right?
So, it's, the village is limited to what we can do to invest our money. This is appropriate for the village to use.
It's like an investment.
Yes,
Yeah.
they invest it and it's, right,
Right.
so it's still covered with collateral.
Right.
So it's not like we're gonna lose anything with
Right.
this investment.
We're covered with it. But we make a lot of money with it. And with Wayne, it would be not on a daily thing, it would be once a month they would check. So just say we're getting 4.8 now, or say it goes to 5.2, they would stay at 4.8 till the end of the month. It wouldn't change. So I don't know what your thoughts are on it, that's all. And the reason why he asked, he says, because they're waiving about $5,000 a year in fees for checking and things like that. You know, and so he says,
So the accounts we already have.
for the accounts that we have, they're not the checking accounts and everything.
So Wayne Bank is willing to match whatever we would be getting.
No, I didn't say that.
No.
That's not what he said.
That's what they said.
I don't, yeah.
Night class does 4.88% daily. Daily, they adjust their interest rates daily. If it changes, goes up, so everything. Wayne Bank said they would look at it once a month, and whatever that is, that month, they would charge you for the whole month. So it wouldn't go up at that, it would just stay the same, basically. So it's it is a difference.
Well, that's nice they're offering that, but what's in it for them? We deposit more money?
Right, we would take the money out of night class and put it into them.
I'm not for that.
Well, actually, it's way been the maximum we could put in would be what, 250,000, because that's the maximum, the account that we have to cover. You got to put it in multiple different ways in order to get it.
Yeah.
With my class, it's not a big problem, because they're not actually a bank.
Right.
And,
And night class, we could put it $2 million and we're all right. With them, we'd have to put in all these different accounts up to 250,000.
I think at this time, leave it where it is.
Yeah.
Last year, how much did we get from Mike last year?
Over 100,000.
Over $100,000 worth of interest.
That's a lot of,
So economically, it doesn't make sense, and I understand we ain't make a decision.
oh, I do too.
But, you know, I don't think they can even come close to matching it.
So we'll leave it,
No action.
no action on it? Okay.
We'll pay attention to it. going
Yeah,
forward.
yes, okay. Okay, we talked about the industrial chauffeur, we got that. The only thing else we got on 8, the tax foreclosure sale, excuse me, pay Delaware County Treasurer.
Yeah, we sold our 6 properties. We did have to collect the county's taxes for them during the process, and now I just need permission to be able to write that check.
Motion. So you know how much it is, Council?
For the, Delaware County Treasurer, we have to pay them $28,667.49.
Make a motion?
Stephen did already.
Second, need a second.
No, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Now, the rest of the money, because we actually got more money than that in. But, because of some rules, you may have to give some of it back to the property owner, correct?
With the state's ruling right now, nobody knows what's going on, so it has to just sit.
It's gonna sit in limbo for now.
We do have to, we typically have to hold them.
Yeah.
If for some reason we have to do it, what we do, we can collect the money that is owed us, and for the attorney, anything extra that was made would have to be given back to the property owner, if that
If it
passes.
goes through.
If it goes through.
And the way it is now is the county's made whole first before anyone else. So
Well, we're made, because we're doing it, we're made whole further. We got enough to make everybody whole. It's just that we got extra on all of it.
I see.
And the last thing is the court audit. Dick and I did it.
Court books are in great order.
Everything's in good shape, everything looks good. We signed it and we're good. We have to okay?
Yeah, you have to make a motion.
Well, we need to make a motion. I need a motion.
Motion to approve the audit.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Until we sign that.
Huh?
Since we signed that.
I think that's it, right? Nothing else?
That's it.
We're done. Thank you everybody for coming. Have a good night. Brian, thank you for making
Yeah, no
it. I
problem, no
appreciate
problem.
it.